The following is an XWA presentation.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, after that exciting first match. We are about to start, actually, the first round of the heavyweight tournament elimination to see who gets a shot at the heavyweight title at our versus CPB. Now, as you can see, the crowd knows who the first competitor to enter is. The franchise of this business, or who I'm hoping to make the franchise of this business, Ryu Hayabusa, is entering the XWA Arena tonight, gracing us with a third opponent. If you've seen episode 2, and even if you haven't, I recommend you go do, you see how great of a match he put on against the current person going for that title, Dante. Gave Dante all he could handle, was on the brink of victory, made one mistake and lost it. It's one of XWA's best matches. I suggest you go look at episode 2 now, just to check it out, and then come back and watch this one. But this crowd on their feet, out of respect for Ryu Hayabusa for not only what he's done, by showing up here a third time, but what he's given to the gaming community as a whole. One can only imagine who his opponent's going to be as to see who will advance. And we will find out in a few short moments. And it is... Whoa! It's the Prince of Persia, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think these two would go at it until somewhere down the line, but the crowd is going to get a treat here tonight. If you've seen Prince of Persia, you know what I mean. If you've seen Prince of Persia go, and you've seen Ryu Hayabusa go, you know what these two are capable of putting on. And I know I said this for the first match, but this is the second time I'm saying it tonight. You have a potential Match of the Year candidate for what these two can put on. Apparently, he's not bringing his sword and his broken tonight. Tonight, he seems to be all business. Seems to be all business and people staring him down. This crowd giving him a reception, boiling with anticipation for what we might see tonight. And I agree with them. Let them have at it. Let's see what happens. Prince seems to be stretching. Ryu Hayabusa already talking some of the smack talk here. And here we go. Ryu starting with the kick that brought him to the dance against Ash. Now playing to the crowd, apparently. And we'll see what happens from here on out. But he put Prince down with that one. Ryu Hayabusa, as you know, is a ninja and a shinobi. And the Prince put it into those kicks. And gives him a kick of his own. The Prince is no slouch here. And he's showing that early. And Ryu sizing themselves up. Ryu going for some more kicks. And the Prince countering them and goes to the outside, trying to get some time. Ryu Hayabusa goes for a corkscrew and misses. And the Prince talking smack to him as he lands on the ground, doing a front flip. Now giving him his own combination of kicks and an enziguri to the head of Hayabusa. Prince is showing Hayabusa what he can do here, showing he's not somebody to be taken lightly. And an arm drag by Ryu Hayabusa. Followed in by a hurricane runner. No, by a spinning DDT. And Ryu playing to the crowd here, as that was a great standoff between two of the very best we can have here. As far as aerial acrobatics go, if Ryu just proves that by jumping off the top and onto the Prince on the outside. Prince of Persia now going with the shared kicks and gets hit in the back by Hayabusa. Hayabusa looking, and the Prince looking for something again. And Ryu Hayabusa dealing with a hurricane rana, and down he goes. And the crowd again, and Ryu plays to this crowd again. Seems to have an answer for everything the Prince is doing. Goes for the corkscrew again and lands it that time, but he might have hurt himself. But that's an amazing thing to see him jump from one end to the other to get him with the corkscrew. Both men are back up amazingly. The Prince, not as eager to get into the ring right now. Hayabusa seems to be playing, going back and forth around the referee, and the referee can't even keep up with him. Now he does the same thing to the Prince, making him miss, making him look bad, and a back suplex. Playing to the crowd. You don't want to play to the crowd too much. Princess Zelda learned that lesson earlier. And Hayabusa pointing down at the Prince. And a spinning wheel kick right on the face of the Prince of Persia. And what's Ryu going for here? Corkscrew splash. And he pins him with an end. Prince counts out. And the Prince kicks out before one. Another kick by Ryu Hayabusa. Hayabusa seems to be putting Prince through everything in his arsenal right now. And the Prince hasn't done anything to really stop the momentum. But we'll see what happens as the fight goes on. And he puts Prince into a corner and down he goes. This match so far has been dominated by Ryu Hayabusa, who goes for the Rolling Thunder and lands it. And now the Prince of Persia seems to be going back on the offensive here. trying to get something going, missing a kick. Ryu going for one of his own. Prince counters that one, but he's not going for it. You can see the match of the year sign in the crowd. So far, it has been a one domination, and the Prince lands a nice moonsault, a standing moonsault from the Prince of Persia, showing that he can go too once he's sitting up here. Oh my God, what was that kind of move? I think that's what you call a Phoenix Splash from one corner, and he does it from the exact other corner. This crowd is on their feet at the aerial acrobatics that have been here so far. Prince taking Ryu to the corner. For some reason, what's he setting up here? He's gonna send Hayabusa on the ride. I was saying no, the Prince is saying yes. And that's gonna stop his momentum, if anything. But Hayabusa trying to grab that rope and keep the momentum from hurting him, and he does a fairly good job of it. But the Prince using some more aerialness. And what's he going for here? Cartwheel standing moonsault on Hayabusa. And he goes for another Phoenix Splash, but he misses this one. Ryu scouted that one very, very well. And now Ryu going off with a rolling thunder of his own. Both these men are going back and forth. And back and forth. What was a domination is now turned into a back and forth brawl. Ryu making it miss again and landing the drop kick. And again, with a nice, very technique wrestling maneuver here, with a spinning neck breaker, and now a Hurricane Run. Now playing to the crowd, it seems. Prince puts him in a headlock and throws him into the corner. Prince showing some power here as Ryu's trying to fight out of it. Looks like he might fight out of it. But the Prince is walking him. I don't know what he's going to do with him, but Prince seems to be thinking of something, and he has to put him down, and Ryu counters it and puts a swinging neck breaker on him. One person you do not want to bide your time against is Ryu Hayabusa. And into the corner the Prince goes, and he throws Hayabusa in the corner of his own, and Hayabusa walks out. Prince with a knee to the gut. Seems to be in a little bit of pain already. And Hayabusa missing, whoa, a quick drop kick. I didn't even see in a swinging neck and a front flip neck breaker that Princess Zelda used earlier has now been used by the Prince. So far, this match has lived up to the billing. It was a little shaky for the Prince at first, but now he seems to have found a groove in things. And Hayabusa is trying to fight his way out of it. He knows what's about to come. The Prince is going to do it again to try to slow down the momentum. And he's saying, yep, it's going to be a second time. Ryu trying to hold his position there. Trying to keep, but he couldn't stop that one. He's trying to hold his position to keep the Prince from using that to his advantage. He's become very good at that. And the Prince now going for the camel clutch. I was wondering when we were going to see this, but he puts the camel clutch on Ryu Hayabusa in the center of the ring. And somehow Hayabusa gets out of it. The technical brilliance of Ryu Hayabusa. Or maybe just the dumb luck and a Hurricane Runner from the Prince of Persia. And he puts him back in the center of the ring for another camel clutch. Trying to crank back on it as Ryu's trying to escape, but he's working that back of Ryu Hayabusa, and Hayabusa escapes again. And he lands a quick drop kick to the face of the Prince that I didn't even see coming, and I'm sure the Prince didn't see it coming if I didn't see it coming, and I'm from here. Hayabusa going for shoulders, does a backflip for show, and another shoulder block. And now he's just stomping a beat down onto the Prince right now. Very un-ninja-like, but very effective. And what's going to happen here? He looks to be throwing him off, but he misses the drop kick. And the Prince stops him from running off the other end, trying to put something on here. Ryu moves out of the way of that. And he misses the drop kick again as the Prince goes to the outside. And what is going to happen here? I'm sure the Prince is aware that Ryu likes to jump from the inside to the outside. And we'll see what goes down here. And another shot. And he lands a spinning wheel kick as he made him thought he was running. And the Prince has been busted open. He was fighting a very good pace that he wants to fight tonight. He's fighting at the Prince's pace, but he's fighting it better than the Prince can. And what's he going for here? A backflip into a reverse DDT, whoo! Those are the kind of moves you get in a Ryu Hayabusa match. And maybe even in a Prince of Persia match. Tonight we've seen the Phoenix Splash, Rolling Thunder, Cartwheel thing, and now a reverse to a sleeper drop. This match has been an onslaught of moves that you would enjoy if you're any kind of wrestling fan.